pretty eye-opening information, isn't it?
Yes.
So the biggest problem with our schools right now, I firmly believe, is the teachers' union. Now, we have a lot of wonderful teachers in our schools, but the union leadership are the ones who are bullying. They are negotiating the contracts. And if you ever notice, you ever take a look, the thicker the union contract, the lower the test scores, believe it or not, because they have so much nonsensical things in their contracts. It's just really ridiculous. So some of my own personal experiences with the union a few years ago, and by the way, I ran for school board in 2021. My two slate mates won, I did not. I'm glad I did not, because I wouldn't be standing here if I had. But during that time, I had a lot of encounters with the union leadership. And one of the most egregious things that they did was they brought in a badge, a lanyard, that had the pride colors on it. And it said, "Safe person, safe space. We're here." And on the back was a QR code. Now, inherently, the message "safe person," that's wrong, because that's implying that the person wearing the badge is safe to talk to about anything. Conversely, implying that anybody not wearing the badge is not safe to talk to. And nationally, over 350 teachers are arrested every year accused of having inappropriate sexual relationships with students. In Franklin County, in the last 2 years, we've had 4. 2 in Hilliard in the last year. Can you imagine if these teachers were wearing these badges? I don't know if they were or not. That's a scary thought to me, because we have a lot of very vulnerable children, and they play on these kids. They're predators. So on the back of the badge is a QR code, and I scanned it, and within 3 clicks, I got to a video called "Sex Acts That Don't Get Enough Play." Now, I watched the video. It wasn't really graphic. It really was ridiculous. It was a group of young adults wearing sexual terms like a jersey on their shirts. Some of them I actually had to Google and look up. I never heard of, and I wish to God I could get it scrubbed out of my brain. It was that bad. But along with the video came literal recipe cards on how to perform each one of those acts. So my first, and the website, I looked at it, and yeah, there were a few good health general things, okay, for teens, but most of it was LGBTQ centered. Where to make contact for different groups, how to perform sex acts, how to do this, how to do that, books to read. And so I reached out to the district, and I'm like, what's the deal? Why do you have this for teachers? First of all, the stuff on the front, that's one thing, but they don't, even a sex ed teacher does not need access to this kind of material. We asked them to remove the badges, they refused. They said, oh, it's for teacher resources. Their solution was to cover the QR code with tape, and they said students don't have access to the badges. Well, guess what? I got pictures of students having those badges in their hands, and these kids are very tech savvy. It doesn't take much to stand just a short distance away with your cell phone, or even their school-issued iPads, to be able to scan that code. And we filed a lawsuit. They're still wearing the badges, about 20% of the teachers. But all this came from the union, the National Education Association. This program, I'm Here, Safe Person, Safe Space, is an NEA program. And if you go look at their website, it's all promoting LGBTQ. That's all they seem to care about. They don't care about academics. So Omar Tarazi made the video. And in the video, they talked about some of the things that we can do, the 5 things. And we are actually working with Vivek Ramaswamy so that when he gets to be governor, hopefully we can get these things in play. But we have to dry up the money. And we also need to educate the teachers that there's other options to the traditional union. There's 2 other organizations, Teacher Freedom Alliance and CEIA, Christian Educators International. And they provide the same services legally if a teacher gets sued that the union would. And here's the caveat though. The union, this is what they don't understand. If they don't like you, they don't have to represent you. They've done this to a dear friend of mine in Hilliard. He's a teacher of 20 plus years, has been absolutely persecuted because he didn't want to use preferred pronouns. And most of these kids, if you ask them what a pronoun is, they can't tell you. They don't know, because they're focused mostly on emotional stuff, social emotional learning. I was going to talk about that. They're not focused on academics, and it's bad. In Hilliard alone, only 48% of our 8th graders are proficient in math. Cleveland, Columbus, Youngstown, Cincinnati, less than 3% of 3rd graders are proficient in reading. 80% of our high school graduates here in Ohio, if they go to college, they have to take remedial courses. We're not doing right by our kids, and it all centers around the teachers union. And one of the things that they do, obviously they bully. I have so many teachers reach out to me that tell me, Lisa, if I don't participate, they make my life a living hell. If I don't vote the way they want me to vote, they come after me. And they do things like stopping them from transferring to another building, stopping them from getting a promotion. The teacher who gave me the badge to begin with, it was a substitute teacher, and I've never identified who that person is, and I never will. They thought they know who did it, and they went in their private Facebook group of about 800 people and said, this is who gave LBC, that's what they call me, LBC, and this is who gave her the badge, and I strongly encourage you not to ask for this teacher to be a substitute in your classroom. She's not worked a day in Hilliard since. She had to go to other school districts. They target and they bully and they waste our tax dollars. And like the video said, believe it or not, they get paid time off to go down to the State House and protest on union activities. Our tax dollars. And they're asking for more money. So Hilliard just recently got a raise, their teachers did. People think, I think it was 3% something, but that's not the actual number because that doesn't represent the money that they get in their STRS, their retirement, and the money that they get for being an advisor to a club and things like that. The other thing that the teachers union is doing is they're discriminating against conservative students. In Hilliard-Davidson High School, we have a Turning Point Club that started 2 years ago, and they have been harassed horrifically. God rest his soul, when Charlie Kirk died, the club decided to do on Charlie's birthday, wear red. They sent out a nice email, if you care to join us, please do so. One teacher responded, if anybody else finds this as offensive and disgusting as I do, wear neon tomorrow. And that's what they did. So this is what we're battling with. It truly is, as you said, a battle of evil. So I strongly encourage all of you to get involved in your local school board activities. Even if you don't have kids, please look into it and make sure that Tuesday when you vote, it's school board election time, know who you're voting for and cast a vote for the conservative candidates because we are in a major battle to save our schools. Thank you.